neighbors, good citizens all, I thank you for coming and heeding the call. Let's rally the people and bring them all near. Sing out our songs for the whole world to hear. This is the cradle of all that we are. This is the heart of the storm. This is the ground where the future was born. This here is Anvil and this is our home. Each song that we sing and each story we tell, each hero we name and each life that we sell, each breath and each beat of your heart is a beat of the drum. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it, song on my lips and ears that'll hear it, fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. Before 10 in the morning, we're barely alive. We're like ghosts, we're like spirits, and then coffee arrives. Then heroes awaken and stand by your side. Now gather your courage and sing out your pride. But the storm will not break us, although it may try. The sun may be down and may bake the world dry, but we stand by our neighbors and raise them up tall. Gather your voices and scream out the call. For you are my empire and you are my hall. For you I would fight and for you I would fall. For you are the beat of my heart and the heart of my song. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it, song on my lips and ears that'll hear it, fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. So fill up your tankards and fill up your lungs. Leave no words unspoken and no song unsung. Make noise for your heroes, your kith and your kin. Sing out their names and the pride that they bring. Together we stand and divided we fall. And the future we write will be shaped by us all. Oh, we are the singers and we are the song of a story that's greater than more. Sing along. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it, song on my lips and ears that'll hear it, fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it, song on my lips and ears that'll hear it, fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere, I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere, I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. There's nowhere that I'd rather be. My friends, my neighbors, good citizens all, I thank you for coming and heeding the call. Let's rally the people and bring them all near. Sing out our songs for the whole world to hear. This is the cradle of all that we are. This is the heart of the storm. This is the ground where the future was born. This here is Anvil and this is our home. Each song that we sing and each story we tell, each hero we name and each life that we sell, each breath and each beat of your heart is a beat of the drum. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it. Song on my lips and ears that'll hear it. Fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. Before 10 in the morning, we're barely alive. We're like ghosts, we're like spirits, and then coffee arrives. Then heroes awaken and stand by your side. Now gather your courage and sing out your pride. For the storm will not break us, although it may try. The sun may be down and may bake the world dry, but we stand by our neighbours and raise them up tall. Gather your voices and scream out the call. For you are my empire and you are my hall. For you I would fight and for you I would fall. For you are the beat of my heart and the heart of my song. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it. Song on my lips and ears that'll hear it. Fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see.
Hi everyone, welcome to this thing, the stuff. We got Matt with us and his wonderful hair. Not quite as wonderful beard, but it's there. I tell you what though, Matt, when you hit puberty, mate, when you hit puberty, that beard's really gonna kick in. You know that. I dread to see what your hair will look like though when you hit puberty. It's just look up.
I'm waiting for it to like come out of my ears and my nose and it will come out everywhere.
Yeah. Ooh. So I hope everyone in chat is doing okay. Thanks for coming along. I feel attacked with the hair comments, says Sam. We haven't mentioned nipples once, so count your blessings, bud. So
yeah, I won't be getting them out. Don't worry.
Yeah. Matt of Discord chainmail Jesus fame. Pretty much. That's
apparently so.
That's good. That's
you know, that's probably one of the nicest things I've been called. You know, there's many other names.
Yeah. I can't repeat live what I get called
on national television. No. Please remember not to swear.
Yeah. Please don't say fuck or bugger.
Oh shit! I said fuck. Oh bugger! I said shit.
It was weird when I did the chats with the LARPs series people. They were turning around to me going, "Oh, thanks for having me on your show." I was like, "Oh, it's a show, is it? Oh,
you're a professional now."
Ooh, that's terrifying. That is.
Yeah.
Oh, Pete gifted a tier 1 sub to George. That's awesome. He was. I saw him saying in chat earlier, saying, "Oh, my sub runs out." Oh, that's fantastic. There you go, George. Woo!
There's some sort of like clandestine competition going on that we don't know, where people are racking up like gifting subs.
Yeah. There's it's all recorded, so it keeps a record of who's gifted what and how many times they've gifted what and who's donated what. It's there's quite a severe competition for it, which is fun. I'm all right with that. I'm totally all right with that. But it's I think my favorite thing is the fact that you can do it for free with the Amazon Prime and stuff like that. So that's what I'm happy to encourage. So, but I thought I'd come back
and
to.
Is that?
Go on.
Is that what helps you out there? The subs? Is that what sort of drives it along then?
Yeah, the subs are great because when I've done things like we had the raffle and stuff like that, I've basically been out of pocket because when it comes to posting all these things off, I'm paying for it all to get posted off myself. So I'm losing it. So anything that comes from the subs or donations or the bits, thank you, Abby. Like Abby's just done, fill the mug. They've just done that. Yeah, it all helps me out massively. So and it's quite nice to be able to have these little things going on to give back. It's like, because I know we've had chats about what would be nice to do and have what prizes and things like that. And obviously I've spoken to you about the chainmail and stuff like that, which would be is that me with wings? That's impressive.
No. Surely you need little horns and some sort of bat wings rather than...
Yeah, it's like dog poo either side of me or something like that.
Yeah.
It's
so talking of doing nice things, I'm going to shamelessly plug here. Obviously, I've got another channel that I do some stuff for, and because I'm an artist, so naturally I get very depressed and anxious, and I have lots of creative block, and it's all terrible and it's rubbish, and especially with the world as it is. Andy and I, my partner, have started doing a weekly feel-good show. Because if we talk about the good stuff that's happening to us, then more good stuff will happen, right?
Yeah.
Or you'll focus on it more. I think that's more sort of the key, rather than looking at the death and misery in the world. You might sort of
perk up a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So, what good stuff has happened to you this week, Steve?
What good stuff has happened to me this week? I will say as well, I watched that. I've been watching that, and it is really good. I've watched. I would say something that I saw that really cheered me up this week. The LARP Noobs, where Dave's video that he put out about mental health. I watched that, and I commented on it as well, and I just said how I thought how brave he was for doing it.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought it was a fantastic thing to see. It was really, I want to say wholesome. It's not wholesome. It's shows character, I think, and it's an eye opener.
It's wholesome. It's sort of, I don't want to say gritty. That's but it's brutally sort of honest and open, and I feel like it can be something really helpful to do. I know, especially even just talking to a camera about your stuff, so you feel like you're talking to other people. It's all sort of well and good internalizing stuff, but getting it out there, to people you trust, or if you're able to, getting it online where you can look back on it. You get a lot of growth out of it.
I thought he did really well. So I don't know I don't think Dave's watching, but it was really, really good. And if you get the chance for anyone in chat to go and see it, then go and give it a watch.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really nice, and it opens your eyes and it makes you think about stuff, which is nice. They've been putting the emotes of me. So I've had the angel wings. I've had squid arms.
Oh wow! Yes.
So Heftthulu. Oh, I like the fiery hands there as well. That's cool. Yeah, fill the cup. Thanks, Alfie. I do like that. I think that's my one of my favourite gifts that I've got for the for it. With its name's Amber. What's her surname? Gold. I can't remember her surname. It's Gold something or other. Less of that, Sam. And she was in the LARPs series, and I've had good feedback from everyone who I haven't spoken to in that series yet, and they are all. It looks like I might be able to get them all on, but there are two people in that who have done. One of them was one of the main voices for the Outer Worlds PC game. I think Alfie's playing it. I've been playing it a lot. I've been seeing. So Sam lost my sub status, so I couldn't put his mug on the end of that ween. Good, good. I'm hoping to be able to say, I've had everybody on there now. So because I'm even getting the director on, and that's really cool.
You've got to collect, each of them.
But funny enough, that's what I said to them as well. I said I want all of them. I want to complete the set. They're not going to give me one of their LARPs the series T-shirts that I want. So I said, right, okay, I want I want everyone then. Alfie says, yeah, I'm currently playing it. So
Brilliant.
I'll have to find out who he was the voice of. But yeah, he's one of the voices. Oh, Ben's gifted a sub to Sam.
Look at that.
That's really
Such
nice.
a nice community. This is what we should all aspire to be.
Yeah, definitely. So he says, "Oh, Ben, you sausage." So yeah, so Ben's gifted 6 gift subs now, which is
I'm guessing that's a lot.
that's good. Yeah. Well, to be honest, when I started doing this, I wasn't expecting like more than one, because Helen uses her free Amazon Prime one on for me every month, which is really nice. So so when it comes to doing all of this, I wasn't expecting any of this. So like over 400 followers, and at one point I had 50 something subscribers, and it's amazing. It really is amazing.
Do I need to get out a trumpet so you can blow it?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. So, but what else? I've obviously had that. Go on.
This is what happens when you start making stuff that you want to see, and like you make the content for yourself because you know you would enjoy it. That's sort of what other people want to see, and that's what draws people in when it's like genuine and honest and it's just interesting. Like, of course your community is going to grow, and of course you're going to get more and more subs, because if you want to watch the stuff that you're making, then other people will. And especially for something like Empire, where it's a growing like fan base, I guess, there's always going to be people that want a little bit more of that thing that they do 4 times a year in a field.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so far it's like passable quality, so you're doing good.
It's not bad, but yeah, below average. I'm aiming for at the moment. Yeah, just a little bit below average. So,
you don't want to set the bar too high, because then you'll have expectations and responsibilities.
My bar is so far out of sight; it's unreal. It's like a mouse trying to do a high jump at the moment. That's how I'm picturing it. So it's so far up there. It's great. Cheers, Sam. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Took him ages. Good.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, it's been. I love doing this. I really, really do. I mean, I have days where my mental health is through the floor, and it's like I just don't want to do it. I can't do it, and unfortunately, I have just turned around and said, nope, no stream tonight. I'm not doing it. I can't handle it. And I've had an evening to myself. Me and Helen have sat down and watched something, and that's it. So
but you owe it to yourself to do that. You can't let yourself get worn out, or especially you can't let yourself get sort of disenfranchised with what you're doing, because then it will just stop, and then that'll be it. You've got to make sure that you're doing good and you're all right, because you're the one on the screen doing it all. And I think if you were to stream like 3 days a week regularly, because that's your schedule and that's what you've got to do, I think people would start getting concerned, because if they see you like not being interested and not as like happy as you usually are, it just sort of it becomes obvious, because you're out so much online. People know you a lot more than you think they do.
Yeah, there's someone I know. I don't know him personally. I think I've spoken to him once or twice, and he's a streamer, and he has streamed for. He's up to like 370 something days in a row, and it was the other day. He put something out onto Twitter, and he just said, no, can't do it tonight. He says, just can't face it, and everyone was just like, thank God. To be honest, please stop. Take time off. And then his mum, he posted something about his mum coming over and stuff like that. So he was off for 3 days and stuff like that in the end. And it was really, and then he came back and he was really on it again. It was nice.
Yeah.
Pete's just said, that's true, Matt. When first looking into LARP after the 2 weeks absorbing all online Empire content, I was like, what now? And then Steve happened, and now he's not coming to Empire.
He cancelled his subscription. He burned all of his LARP gear.
Pretty much. Yeah. We all have those though. So taking breaks is healthy, and the people who care about you won't leave because of it. Yeah, I think that was what bothered me when I first did it. I was expecting, no, this is it. I've missed a stream now, and I'll have like 4 people watching now. They've gone somewhere else to see it or stuff like that. And I came back and everyone was just like, "Hi, you alright? How's things? Let's chat. Who are you streaming with next?" And all of this sort of stuff. Or if George is in chat, I can quote George. What's going on with the giveaways and stuff like that? Because I have to admit, it's things like that keep me going. So it's really nice because I cannot wait for these giveaways. I'm going to do them at Christmas because I think that's the time for giving, and I think that's
Are you gonna dress up as Rudolph?
As Rudolph. Let's go for a challenge then. So if chat can come up with a decent challenge for everyone in chat to do, I will dress up as Rudolph for a Christmas stream. How's that? Macdolph. Yes, Macdolph. I will do. I
Find
will
a way to. We'll get you like one of those. What is it? Like those sports relief red noses, and make sure it's got like LED powered or something, so you can have like a blinking.
You'll probably be able to get one. I'll have a look on Amazon. George says he kept asking because I originally said late September. It's now October, so that I dropped the ball on that one. So let's go for. No one wants Macdolph on their roof. No, they really don't. Imagine cleaning up that poo.
Imagine Macdolph squeezing down your chimney. Yeah.
Macdolph, yeah. Steve is keeping the fire burning for a lot of us. Steve, if you need to take a break, take it. You're doing wonderfully. Your videos, content, and Discord is honestly keeping my Keenan LARP alive. Honestly though, what is time anymore? Days, months, it's all the same. Yeah.
No idea.
That's true. That's true.
It's night or day. That's about it. September's disappeared. We're probably already halfway through October.
Maybe, yeah. No, exactly. So, let's go for a. I'm trying to think of a decent thing. It's got to be, I don't know, 50 subscribers or something. If I hit 50 subscribers between now and.
Oh, that'll be the benchmark for.
Yeah, now and the 1st of December. So if I get that, then. No, 50 subs in total, Ben, not each. That would be amazing. That's thousands. That's that'd be incredible. So let's go for maybe a LARP crafting challenge as money based is hard at the moment. That is true. Well, if you've got Amazon Prime, you can do that because that's free. If you don't have Amazon, 50 people in a field all being Mac. For a lot of people, yeah. We'll have a thing. Let's have a.
Mandala could like take a face cast of you and then make some latex masks like of your head. 50 people could be Mac all in a field. I'm just going to put that out there. That's not an impossible dream. Yeah, it would be awful and horrible.
It would be terrifying. Who would want that? Oh. If you don't dress up as hefty Yeti claws for December, I will be affronted. Well, we've got the challenge there, so we'll say 50 subs or... but the beard would get stuck in the mould and it would be awful. Yeah, I ain't showing this off again. It's taken me ages to get back to this. So, and it's still not anywhere near as long as it was before. So, either LARP, minis, art, emojis. Yeah. We'll have a think. We'll put something into the Discord... or something like that, and we'll come up with a challenge, and if we get to a certain point, so we'll combine it at auction off mini max. Oh dear, that's like nightmare fuel. At 25 subs the tree comes back. Okay, George, at 25 subs I will bring the tree back again. That's fine. So I completely lost on where you were. So but yeah, the big thing that's happened to me this week that was good was Obviously this company contacting me to do a review of their game.
Yeah.
That's the big thing, and I have been playing their game today for hours, and I have I am in love with this game. If you enjoy playing a game with a really good story, but it's a a visual novel. Did you ever play the old pick the was it the page number ones? Uh,
Pick your own adventure.
yeah, pick your own adventure things. Yeah.
I have no. I
No.
haven't. I'm an awful nerd.
Oh.
Yeah, afraid not. I know about them. I've heard of them, but yeah, I've never had that
They're-
experience.
I used to play. They were called Lone Wolf, and it was by Joe Diva and someone else who I can't remember the name of. And they were incredible. I loved them. He did there was like 26 of the books, and I used to have all of them. Well, my dad had all of them when I was growing up, and I
Yeah.
used to play through them all constantly. So, the Academy has a Call Your Own Adventure. Excellent stuff. I'll have to.
They do. Wasn't that Oh, that wasn't the guy who plays John of Mead. That wasn't his son that wrote that, was it? Or maybe that
I'm
was
not
a
too
different
sure.
book. I know John of Mead's son, or is it Harry Harrell's son, wrote a book about Empire. It might, I don't know. Maybe it was that.
Alfie says it teaches you the way, among other things. So that could be
Good.
that would be interesting. We'll have to try and get hold of that, and then I could play through it all. But
It was, yeah.
yeah, but I don't know if I'll be allowed to do it on stream. Actually, it'll be might be something for the field, perhaps. Don't know.
Yeah, I think it was like written as an in-character book that you could read on the field.
Right, okay. So I won't be able to play that on stream then. Never mind. But yeah, we'll come up with something. And if everyone in the Discord or the chat completes the challenge, then I will do a stream dressed as Rudolph, or at the very least have the big red nose on and the big Santa hat or something. So yeah, we'll do that. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. Okay, there's a goal right there. Can't remember what it was for, but we will do it. Because it will be a laugh. So, but yeah, so my big thing this week has been definitely that company contacting me to say, come and play this game that we've made, visual novel and all of that, and I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. And I'm not just saying it either. It's a genuine thing. As I was playing, looking through what I've recorded today, there's one bit where I'm playing it and I clicked on something and something happens and I read it out and I just stop and I'm just like, oh my God, I fucking love this game.
That's really good. That's what we need right now. We need some like unashamedly good stuff.
It's
out there.
such a good story. It was such a good story. Well, it is a good story, and I'm 54% of the way through it at the moment after 3 hours. So it's like, oh, still got loads to go, and I'm absolutely loving it. So I cannot wait for me to be able to actually go, this is what I've done. So anyone who's friends with me on Facebook has seen my picture change already, so it's quite obvious what I've done. But I'm allowed to do that apparently. So what about you, Matt? What's been the best thing that's happened for you this week?
So a couple of months ago, we lost our van. Rip in peace.
Oh.
It failed its MOT,
Ah.
and fortunately, it happened at a time that kind of wasn't the worst because we don't need to go anywhere really. I've got no shows to go to. I don't have any like freelance work picking up elsewhere that I need to drive to, and we can walk to the workshop. So we're getting a new van.
Fantastic!
And I went to see it. Did I see it on Friday? I saw it sometime last week, and we should be picking it up tomorrow or Wednesday, which would be great.
Wonderful.
So I won't have to walk 6 miles a day anymore, which would be nice. Especially seeing as it's getting cold and wet and horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wyamorous Love has asked, what make, model?
So I know this, and I didn't know the last one. It's a Vauxhall combo. It's a long wheelbase, and it's the largest payload in its class. So it's a small van but it can hold a ton.
Nice.
And for someone who carts around probably about a ton's worth of metal to all the shows we do, it's very much needed.
Yeah.
And it's long enough to sleep in, so we can continue decking it out as a bedroom as well, which is nice.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thanks for the bits again, Alfie. So, do you sleep OC when you're at Empire then, or do you sleep IC at Empire?
So we sleep IC at Empire.
Okay.
I started off when I like back when I was a little babby larper and I was in Wintermark. I'd slept in the car because I didn't want to bother pitching a tent. And back then I didn't have an in-character tent, so I didn't have the choice anyway. But yeah, since becoming an orc, and especially since this site that we're at now, I almost couldn't sleep anywhere other than in that camp, because that really finishes off, like, that rounds the experience off really nicely. Because I get to. It's almost the only time I get to spend in the orc camp, really, is when I'm asleep, because I do so much other stuff, and I'm running here, there, and everywhere through Anvil.
Yeah.
I think I clocked about half an hour last event actually spending time with the orcs, which was like a good amount of time. But yeah, we've got it's like a 3 or 4 meter square canvas tent, so it's not a bell tent, and it's got it's got like a partition. In fact, it might be similar to yours or similar to someone in your groups. It's like got a middle partition, so the front bit can be opened as like an awning.
Not our group.
No, maybe not. I definitely saw a picture of a tent similar. Probably like the post under something you were posting, and then just associated.
I thought you were talking about the van for some reason there. The tent. No, it might. No, not ours. Right. Think about it. No.
But yeah, so it's a nice, like, we can have the front open. You can have people in it, like in chairs and stuff, so it keeps you dry. Yeah, and then of course, because we're in the orc camp, the whole camp is like our player group space. We've got the giant fire pit that's made out of an old milk truck. That I think it's the same as the Wintermark one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
A guy like welded a couple of them together. Yeah, we've got a nice like bench set up, a bit like the Navarre song and story time, all around the middle of the fire pit. We've got a nice big gauntlet that you have to walk through to get into camp.
Yes, so yeah. It's discussed a lot, that bit.
Yeah.
John said, "Baby larper and had a car. Everyone knows a baby larper is dropped off by the field by your mum."
Oh no! See, I had to learn to drive really young because I lived in a little village that like was nowhere near any of my mates. So I was the first person like in my year at school to learn how to drive, so that I could get to see other people.
No, see, I've always lived in places with really good public transport, or I've walked. I prefer walking to places. So, Smo said the amount of time people come to the Orc camp looking for Fal is hilarious. Like, I can almost guarantee them you aren't there.
Yeah, I need a little sign that's got Skywise Fal, and then like in or out, and then you can just fold the
flip it over. You should
should
do it like the Black Books one. It's got the closed sign, but it's closed on both sides, so they're constantly flipping it over to closed. So, Dawn's come in. Yeah, Dawn, haven't seen you since the last one, I think. We've got Dawn coming on as well, actually, to do a chat and stuff like that. So it's going to be really nice. She's like the chat mum. I'm always being told. I feel like I'm always being told off. So it's great. I used to walk a lot at uni, every day from King's Cross to Russell Square at one point. Oof. It's George says baby larper is a virtue. How many bees? Never being in your nation's camp is fun until the egregore takes the piss out of you for it. Then it's hilarious.
Yeah.
This happened to you a lot, does it?
The egregore taking the piss out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't believe I'm a real orc because I wander around on my own, so I'm obviously very ill. I mean, I've also got an egregore that eats gravel, so I'm not really gonna sort of listen to him in any way at all.
That's amazing. Yeah, well, you're never in camp, so you're ill. You eat gravel.
Yeah. Mate, I've seen you throw up before you had to open the central gate here.
That's
You
fantastic.
got nothing on me.
That's so good. Oh
I
my.
love the fact because obviously we've every nation has one egregore spirit, and then they've got multiple hosts.
Yeah.
So you've got is it Solkavaris? Is the Wintermark one?
Yeah.
And there's three of them because they're
Yeah.
Steiner, Suak, and Calavasi.
Calavasi, yeah.
We've got Grud, and then he sometimes has a bunch of different names like the White Death or the Unshackled, depending on
Yeah.
the host. And we've always had like a militant Grud because the orcs are very military minded, and we we used to live in the legions. Everything was like military based. But then after we settled and had Scarsift, this other Grud sort of manifested, who was more like a shaman, who was a bit more shamanistic, and just absolutely insane. Like office rocker, really weird. Just this old orc that like lives in his own shit, really. But the guy who plays him, Ed, is like one of the most nice, approachable people you could ever meet. And then he puts his mask on, and he's just an arsehole.
Yeah. There's a lot of people out there like that though in the field when they start to play their characters. It's like they completely change.
Yeah.
It's like I like to think Steve is nice and approachable, but when I become Mac, I'm a twat. I'm an absolute twat.
Oh, I don't realise how intimidating I've become because, of course, Val has no facial expressions.
No.
Because these don't move. None of this moves. You can only see my mouth, and like you can't even see like my eyes really. I've kind of got a very good deadpan poker face that people find intimidating, and it's hard to disconnect, and it's hard to remember that people can't see my actual face underneath.
Yeah. So Pete's just said to How Many Bees, what happens if the Egregore is never in camp? How Many Bees says, unfortunately I don't know because I'm never in camp either. Smo said, I miss Grud and Grud. Don said, I remember one of the Egregores massively trolling Medea Ruth. So I never really paid attention to that whole Medea Ruth stuff when that was going on. I avoided it.
It went on to a lot of a lot of people in my banner got involved because a few of them are preachers and were involved in trying to sort of not fix her, but I guess figure out why she hated orcs so much. But I didn't. I don't think I actually spoke to her at all.
No, I did once, and that was when we were trying to remove someone's testicles. There is a story here. I won't go into it, but yeah, there was an incident, shall we say, and there was some testicles that we were trying to remove, and Medea Ruth was there trying to advise. So, and then a spring mage turned up and helped regrow a testicle as well on Grim. And it had a scorpion inside it, so it was good. It was really interesting, actually. So, there was a point I had to. Smo says there was a point I had to hold back my warlord because my warlord liked Medea Ruth for some reason, and decided she was not going to let that trial happen. Warlord is weird.
I was going to say that's Gazar, isn't it? But then she likes everyone. I did notice a question though, because I'm now looking at the comments.
What can orcs be lineaged?
Yes.
That got answered further down.
Did it? Oh,
yeah.
Well.
Come on, Matt. Pay attention. But answer it
So,
anyway. Can
so
orcs be lineage, Matt?
orcs can't be lineage. We are not affected by magic at all. The Highborn will have you believe that humans are the greatest species in creation, and yet disavow and hate 6 types of human that exist. Because obviously they're not quite the correct version of human. Yet orcs can't be corrupted in the way humans can. So really, we are the best species in creation.
Probably. Was that the brass coach chap who sold one of his testicles to an Eternal or Herald? No, I guess not. No. This was this happened at.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
That sounds like a great idea and something I would happily be involved in.
That's a way to become like the parent of a lot of very strange hybrid heralds.
I'm not hearing a downside at the moment, Matt, to be honest, mate. It's yeah, that sounds like great fun, and something I'd be very on board with. So why can't they be lineage? Is it to do with souls?
It's not to do with souls. It's just magic doesn't affect because orcs and humans are an entirely different species. There's no common ancestor. We're entirely incompatible, like procreation-wise. It just doesn't work that way.
What can an orc and a human have kids?
No.
Has anyone tried?
All those bits work, and you can have a lot of fun together, but it doesn't. Nothing gets made. I don't think anything has tried, just because it's it's an OC barrier, really.
Right. Okay.
Like humans have like given away children for us to look after. Like orcs, a big part of the orc brief is adopting children, like human and orc, because they don't have, maybe their parents died in a battle, or the High Guard sort of put them on the doorstep to get rid of them because they had horns.
So, what happens? So why isn't an adopted human allowed in the Imperial Orcs then?
So they are, until they pass their citizenship test.
Then they have to pick a nation.
Then they have to pick their own nation, because they're the big reason why orcs and humans can't join nation, or the big reason why the orcs can't be in any human nations, as much as I would love them to be, is it's actually based on religion.
Right.
And it's based on the fact that our hearth magic is intrinsically linked with the abyss.
Yeah.
Which, as soon as, if I was to go and join the Brass Coast, I would denounce my own hearth magic, which is my link to my afterlife, for the human labyrinth that I have no chance of getting towards.
Yeah.
So it's not just a PD don't want it to happen. There's a lot of really interesting, like, political and spiritual reasons as to why it doesn't work. Humans could join. In theory, humans could join the Orc Nation, but then they'd be giving up their chance to travel through the labyrinth.
So that so it's heresy then, in a way.
Yeah.
So I'm going to join the Orc Nation, Imperial Orcs. Oh, you're a heretic then, even though they're part of the Empire, and they'd be executed for it.
I don't think they'd be executed for it, because I think it's kind of an interesting. They've sort of broken the law, but they haven't.
Yeah.
And they're trying. It's like experimental theology, I suppose.
Okay, that's quite interesting. I quite like the sound of that. That's
because there are. Sorry.
No, go on.
So there are orcs living in human territories.
Yeah.
And there are orcs living in the Maw that were left over from the big war in the Maw with the Jotun. And as far as those orcs are concerned, they are marchers, because they live the land, they live there with the humans, like with their human neighbours. They believe in reincarnation, a big no-no.
Yeah.
So they don't feel like there's any barriers for them to joining the Marchers. But the trouble is, they don't reincarnate.
No.
They've got the Abyss to look forward to, and there's a lot of in-character stuff revolved around trying to get them to join the Marchers, trying not to get them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Matt has said, Matt Daweswood has said, cats and dogs, they're kind of the same, but it just doesn't work. But on a rare occasion, they will foster. So that supports what you said. Lady Pigeon, I got up to get food from the kitchen and come back to fun with orcs logistics. Yeah. Alfie says, the wiki does say people have tried to much disappointment. It's basically to cover families with kids who don't want to, can't wear orc masks. Okay, yeah, I didn't think of that, to be honest.
I guess to go back to the sort of the starting question, humans can be in the Imperial Nation until they take their citizenship and choose where they want to be in the Empire. And generally speaking, by the time they take that test, they understand that they're going to have to leave their parents behind. But, they're never that far away and they're still part of the same family.
What would be a fun character to play then is, I suppose if PD cleared it, would be to play an adult who had been adopted by the orcs and had stayed with the orcs and had decided never to do anything, never to take the citizenship test, then turned up to Anvil purely to do this and to find their way. It would have to be approved by PD, of course.
It would. I'm not sure you could get to being like adult age having not passed a test. I think you would be strongly encouraged to in Scar Sims they'd almost make you say, but I suppose it might not even have to be, it might even be they do it late. It could be that because they've been around orcs their whole lives, they've got to then go and explore and figure out where they fit, because every human culture is almost alien to them.
Yeah.
But I would have thought by the time they are influential enough to come to Anvil, they would know where they belong.
Yeah.
And also, there's quite a lot of overlap. There's a lot of things in each human nation that the orcs resonate with.
Yeah. It could be quite interesting to see what PD would say on that front. Donna said you might be able to do this as an ex-barbarian just joining the Empire, but again, heavily moderated by PD.
Yeah. So, I think Raven asked previously, where do orc souls go? Is there an orc heaven and hell? Yeah. There isn't. There's the Abyss, which is basically hell, in that when an orc dies, they are confronted by this big hole in space, I guess. Maybe you're on a floating rock somewhere above a bottomless chasm. And either you die again and you become part of this abyss that's forever, eternally howling.
Yeah.
Or, dependent on your faith system, so each orc tribe has a different religion they believe in. For the Imperial Orcs, it's the way, and it's being virtuous. Then, depending on how good you followed your religion, almost increases your strength level as to you being able to cross. And if you're able to cross the abyss and not fall into it, then you become an ancestor, and you go on to some sort of eternal happy life, whispering in the ears of all the orcs that currently live. Because the side effect of the abyss is hear voices all of the time, and we hear the voices of our ancestors.
Divine Technomancy said it's totally more like a big old popularity contest.
It kind of is. For the Imperial Orcs, you have to become famous. If people don't remember you, that's one of the one of the factors we believe of crossing the abyss. If people remember you, then your thoughts about that person help them as well. You get help from both sides, from across the abyss and from the physical plane, as it were.
That could be quite interesting. So, as Matt said, So I think I missed something. So Samoa said yes, but not a big a cloud happy place and fiery death pit as per the Christian idea of heaven and hell. I said, yeah, you're right. It's nothing like the real life religions, but they could be explained like that if you wanted to draw parallels. Yeah. The working I've always lived by is earn your legend.
Yeah.
So you're doing pretty well at that so far.
I think so. I think Val's, about a 7 out of 10 on the popularity scale at the minute. It's kind of a big deal, I'd say.
Yeah, you're definitely getting there. You're definitely getting there. It's quite. I'm finding the race for the throne quite interesting. I have to admit, as as someone who's, I think, Divine Technology, I'm kind of a big deal. Oh my god, yeah, you're Ron Burgundy. I'm liking it as an outsider who's not directly involved but is kind of involved. Knowing
you've
yeah.
got your own agenda, really, don't you?
Oh, me massively. I've got
as everyone should.
I've definitely got my own agenda. But whereas everyone who's involved with the race for the throne, it's like I want to be Empress, Emperor. I want to be this. I want to do this, this, and this, and yeah, Mac's not that heavily involved in that. Mac is very much. I want to be involved with the person who gets it because I want to be involved in the fighty side of it. I want them to make this position and give me that position.
You want to be part of the government that they lead that makes you a bit more influential and powerful and gives you some levers to pull.
Yes. As Sam has said, I want to be a disappointment in a fantasy world as much as I am to my parents right now. That's brilliant. Yeah, I think, yes, you're right there, Ben, because he wants to propose to the throne.
Okay.
Yeah, more than likely, it will happen.
I mean, Val is single, just saying.
Yeah, Mac's kind of spoken for by like 6 or 7 people, so he's happy to add to his harem. It's great. It's I would love to be able to push that sort of agenda on the game, to create something else and to create that sort of discussion, which will then all of a sudden go from one person getting in who I've said I'd help, and then all of a sudden a role has had to be made to fit Mac in to shoehorn him in somewhere, and then everyone go, oh, okay, what? And that sort of thing come out of it. That would be great to see. It's that would be quite fun to do, and I think that would create a lot of game for a lot of people. And
it's also that's a really big part of the sort of campaign for the throne. In that the throne itself doesn't really have that much power. They're a figurehead. They are an inspiration. They're sort of supposed to be the ideal citizen. And they're supposed to command by like exuding charisma and having people just like believe in them as an ideal. And the way I would say you win the contest is you have enough people around you that campaign on your behalf and big you up as the ideal. And it's kind of it's the retinue, it's the support structure around the candidate that wins them that position. It's not. I wouldn't say it's actually the person themselves. Like, Foul campaigning to be thrown. It's not me that's going to win it. It's going to be all those people bigging me up and singing my praises to the people that vote.
Yeah, I think whoever gets it is going to be in for an interesting time.
Oh, definitely. It's a really exciting time to be in the game.
Yeah, definitely.
We're almost back at the beginning. The game started with the death of an empress, and everything was in disarray. Yep. And we're kind of in a similar. Obviously, people are like currently senators and archmages and whatnot. We don't have to re-elect them all.
No.
But we are. I mean, not in character, but out of character. I would absolutely love to see some sort of a military coup where one of the candidates just goes and gets rid of all of the previous throne's entourage. So like their player group, the people that associated with them, the people that were like part of the government. So you could have like a completely new start. I think it'd be very difficult to do because you've got magistrates and you've got the militia and you've got like an in-character legal system. But something that just really like rocks the foundation of the empire and really gets people like G'd up on either side of the conflict, I think would be really cool.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see. A military coup would be hilarious. Difficult, because I think if you rocked into the Senate when they're doing the vote to put someone in as emperor with 50, 60 people all armed saying you'll vote this way or we will kill you, that will get out quite quickly, and then all of a sudden there'd be 50, 60 people defending against an entire field of people who want to have a bit of a scrap, and everyone will just rock up. So I'd make a fortune that night. Think of all of the ribbons and money that you would steal off of the corpses there. That's
the amount of money that's found on the Senate floor as it is, in just people wandering around. Yeah,
I'll have to do that some more.
Of it.
That's awesome. So George has asked an interesting question, and it's not one that we can answer. What are your theories on what happened to the missing Empress?
Oh, I can't say.
No, we can't say. That is something, mate, you'll have to come up to us in game. Because a missing Empress, I would say, is something everybody would know about. She goes missing. That's going to be, everyone in the Empire will know that's happened. So a brand new player could turn up and use that as a... So, what happened?
I reckon she opened her night pouch in the morning. And because she's got so much stuff in it, she had to like reach really far deep down, and she just fell in. And
she did a Mary Poppins.
Yeah, and then the next day it just disappeared because it went to the night realm. I reckon that's what happened.
Yeah, George says Mac killed her. No.
Mac, that's an allegation.
Yeah, that is an allegation. Yeah, Mac proposed to her like 3 times, so... oh, there's motive there. So Raven has said, so do orcs see lineaged humans as a bit tainted?
I would say, for the way I play it, is we don't really associate lineage with your personality. So of course each lineage comes with a set of like role play hooks. So a changeling will be more bolshy and abrupt, and they'll get stuff done. A Cambion will be more ambitious.
Yeah.
A Draugr will be more like spoopy and edgy.
Yeah.
But I to an orc, I would say, I see Mac as a human, as Mac is, and then I see someone next to him with changeling horns. I would just imagine that they are a driven person. I wouldn't associate their drive and ambition with their Cambion lineage. If someone's an arsehole because they're a changeling, I would just assume they're an arsehole anyway. Maybe if you see someone Twilight Masquerade and then you see
them change,
yeah. But you wouldn't recognise them because they'd be a different lineage. So you'd have to get them to tell you that they're the same person. Then we might see something, but I think generally it's just we assume kind of people at face value rather than the magic that they are imbued with.
I like what Matt said. Orcs play it different ways, but I've seen some orcs say you all look the same to me, whether it's horns, gills, or weird skin. It's all just weird. I quite like that.
I mean, you've got noses, you've got eyebrows. That's weird enough.
Yeah. It's unlikely someone will kill you because of your lineage, but it's also not unheard of. Cough briars. Yeah.
Yeah. Most nations have a lineage they are not best pleased with. There's some interesting, national folklore around different lineages.
Mm.
But I won't say here because it's interesting to find out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Either read the wiki because it is there, but yeah, there's lots of interesting prejudices.
Like Matt's just said, try not to be meta about it. In the past, I've used people's lineages against them, like casting a Briar with a high energy job to keep them busy, or posing a unsolvable riddle to a Mero just to get them to leave me alone. Yeah, see that's how it should go. You should, if you're gonna use lineages against people, then that's the perfect way to do it. I mean, I use everything against anyone. I don't care enough. I've got my I'm quite the way I wanted to play it was I have a focus and that's it. Nothing else really matters around it all. It's all inconsequential. So, but if someone is even indirectly involved, then it's something that he's going to care about, and he will deal with it in whatever way is needed. So,
have you ever had that really nasty, spicy ambition?
Had the what? You cut out a bit there.
Oh, so there's a really nasty, spicy ambition that basically says you use people as objects or as pawns in your game. Have you ever had that cast on you?
No, but I know someone who did, and it was. I can't remember. This is going to be a need to be asked about in field, and it did affect a lot of stuff, and it was interesting roleplay because of it, and I did quite like it. It was that would be quite fun to play, but I don't know how it would end up for me.
Yeah.
Especially being a bit more vicious and violent with the way that he'll deal with stuff. So if someone's in his way, he would just kill them, and that'll be it. It'll be the quickest way to get rid of my character. Don't do it, anyone. So, Paladin 21. Quick question, if I may. I was hoping an orc player could clarify. My second event, I got dragged into the orc camp to help someone who had been injured and was dying and needed immediate help. An orc recognised I was a physic from the field and grabbed me to help. This caused a lot of a stir, but I couldn't work out why at the time, as I was busy with the situation. Is there something about non-orcs being in an orc camp?
No, not at all. You're a citizen of the Empire just as much as we are. We're very law-abiding orcs that don't mean bad things to any human.
So is it just
I think it might have just been that you looked from an angle like you'd attacked an orc, and you were like fighting on top of them. That would cause a stir, but you being in camp to heal someone, that's not unusual.
Yeah, I think any questions like that with the orcs, where it comes to what's this about being in the orc camp and all of this sort of stuff, that's something to go up to them in game and ask.
Yeah,
get that role play.
A lot of stuff we can answer, because if it's some stuff gets sort of misrepresented, and there's a lot of rumours about things. So I'm always happy to clarify. That's not actually a thing, or we are like. But yeah, a lot of the sort of intrigue around orcs is so much greater when you're asking an orc rather than asking me as a human. Now.
Yeah. So Dawn said, in fairness, I was told to never attend the orc camp alone or unarmed to show respect, but when I escorted a mate in, I got turfed. Yeah. I think Grim has gone to the orc camp on his own and unarmed, and he's been turfed as well. So it's like, I like to think that there's obviously no correct answer here. It's down to each individual person what they're doing and why. That's it.
Yeah. I'm neither going to confirm nor deny any of the super secret handshakes we have to get into our club, but it boils down to the orc camp is like a player group camp. So our whole camp is like the Hurst Hall communal area. We treat it as we are one player group and it's all our area. If you're coming in just because you want to see an orc, then find a better excuse to come in.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've only been there a couple of times, and each time I went in, it was to have an argument with someone. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was fine. I was happily ushered into the Orc camp, and I had my argument, and then I was left alone as I left. And that was the first time was with someone, and but I was a general arguing with a general, and that was great fun, and we had lots to drink. And then the second time I was on my own, and that was just an argument with someone for the sake of arguing, and that was really good fun as well. And I just sort of like got, "Are you leaving now?" It's like, "Yeah, thanks for the drinks, bye," and I'm off. And that was it. It was great. So I would always say to everybody, go to the Orc camp, but
Yeah.
have that's the big thing, is you just have to have a reason to go.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
what I will say is there is no gate guard. There's no like bouncer at the gate.
no.
If there are orcs doing that, they are wrong and they shouldn't be, because you shouldn't be denying someone access to the part of the field unless you've got good reason.
Yeah.
You know, if there's an orc being an arsehole, not letting people in, they're just an arsehole.
Yeah.
Find it. You know, find the many secret ways we have into camp. And maybe I wasn't supposed to say that.
Yeah. Matt said, please, every time you hear the rumours around entry to the Orc camp, please tell people that it's a roleplay prompt, not a gate or a refusal. Divine Temper said, got to disagree with you there. It's an opportunity for roleplay. Yeah, it's a roleplay. Yeah, it's a roleplay prompt. So he's disagreeing with you, Matt.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay. I mean, I can't remember which. I'm not sure which.
Neither can I. I've spoken since then, so I've forgotten everything. So it's
like if you know, if you don't agree with me, that's cool.
Yeah, totally fine. It's a discussion at the end of the day. So I've definitely not let people. I've definitely not let people in, but only because they were excessively rude. Yeah, or very drunk. Yeah, that's a good thing. I mean, it's like I think I said during the Brass Coast one, where they had broken wheel and they turned up to the fire when I was sat there, and they were really, really drunk, and they were going, "Oh yeah, broken wheel, we'd get away with everything," and I have ushered people on, and it's like, yeah, don't need it, but I could see some people saying, "Okay, yeah, sit down, talk to us," and because they're not confident enough, I suppose, to say to people, "No, you're drunk, go away." So I think that's the thing. Matt said there are no official gate guards. There have never been official gate guards, and nobody wants gate guards. But tons of people love hanging around the gate area, role playing with people. It's their choice. Yeah, definitely. We have had people like that at Song and Story Circle too. Unfortunately, I'm one of the people who likes hanging around the gate because
it's one of those
something.
It's
Because
one
I have
of those
nothing
things,
else to do in
sadly,
game. Yeah.
in that, like, people will hang around the gate to get more trade because that's sort of the area that more people are going to come to. When actually, if those people who are traders were in the camp rather than by the gate, then it would give humans the excuse to come into the camp and see them in their own environment rather than on the doorstep.
Yeah.
So I would always prefer, you know, if you are a trader and you're just sat in the front of the Orc camp, like, put up a sign saying that traders are inside, and be further in so that then people can experience more what because we put so much effort into that camp. You know, I'm down on there Thursday morning building flat pack furniture from nothing. You know, we put down a bloody wooden floor when it was horrible weather.
Yeah.
One day, like one event, to make sure that people could get in. Janet and Matt make a whole herb garden. You know, in front of the camp next to the pit. There's so much we want to show off, and a lot of people are put off, sadly.
Yeah, I think it's anything that gives roleplay is good. I think there have been times when there's been no one at the gate and I've seen people walking in, just walking in. That's been great. I've also seen the flip side of it where there's been something was going on and all the orcs were by the gate, and I've had like 3 orcs coming over and I've been stood there sort of holding the rope down for the orcs and helping them over the fence so that they could actually just leave because they couldn't get out as well. So I think that's all a little
That's the thing. It's
yeah,
our
common
only,
sense is a big thing,
yeah,
isn't it? Really. It's
and it's our only entrance and exit. So it needs to be left open, really, so people get in.
yeah. I think I heard a rumor that there's a potential because I know all the sites are expanding, so the Orcs is gonna get bigger, and so
So there
there's
is.
the potential for a second entrance exit.
We have more land that is allocated to us that we don't use, that
Yeah.
the Navarre currently use.
Yeah.
That if we get bigger, we're going to have to expand into.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because the
there's
Navarre
always
are going
been,
into the pheasant bit, aren't they? Right at the back.
yeah,
So
there's always been like a couple of emergency exits because having one in and out, if you know if there was a fire or a tree fell down, you know there are some sort of there are smaller ways in and out that are more there is like an OC breaking the barrier.
yeah, I have to admit, I didn't see that, but I've been because obviously where I'm friends with one of the Navarre camp planners, so he's like, am I free for a weekend to go up and help them clear that pheasant bit out so that they can move that way, so it opens up the space for the Orcs, and then Wintermark have the bit right down at the bottom, and everyone's happy and everything's bigger, so that's all good. But I think having a bit more space and stuff like that would be a good thing for everyone, and
Especially for next event where there is going to be a lot of new players. There's going to be a lot more people on that field.
yes, there are.
You know, there's already easily 90 Orcs. I wouldn't be surprised if there's 100, if not more. And it's, you know, space is a premium.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. The not ghost fence isn't exactly hard to get over either. Yeah, I think when I help people, it was the event of just really shitty weather, and everybody was struggling. It was a bit of a bog, so it was just more of a I could hold onto a tree and they could hold onto me, and that. So, but I wasn't exactly sure-footing myself, so they might have to just open up a new field. To be fair, yeah, because I think the farmer has actually offered the field over the road. No, not over the road. I think other bits have been offered. So yeah, because I know he loves having us there.
I mean, I'm pretty sure PD is like his big source of income.
Probably.
You know, when he's for the off season. Obviously, it's a working farm, but PD's a big chunk, and he doesn't want to. They both want to look after each other.
Yeah, so I think probably in the new year, depending on what happens, I might contact them again to see if we can get a little hefty fam player event.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it depends on like PD's insurance as to who they're allowed down and when.
Yeah, there was. I think they need to have a certain number of staff on site doing things, but I know that they have staff on site most of the time anyway. Obviously not at the moment, but
there will definitely be one or two build weekends before the event, just because it's going to be so overgrown and it won't have been used in so long.
Yeah,
there'll need to be to make it habitable for us again.
Yes, yeah, but hopefully it's made the woods a nice a little bit overgrown again and stuff like that. That'd be really good. I really look forward to seeing.
Hopefully all the trees they cut down will have grown again.
Well, didn't the farmer say that you don't be surprised if one event you come back and all the trees have gone?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And we did, and we were very surprised and sad.
Yeah, it looks fine. It looks fine. I still like it in the woods. So it's still a hefty fam event. Sounds good. Yeah, very sad. So I'm gonna call it there, Matt, because I'm quite tired. I'm afraid. After my day, I hate editing.
See, I told you my voice would put you to sleep.
Oh no, I'm not asleep. I'm just like that. I've been sat in this chair most of the day, and I'm like, I ache a bit. So, I really enjoyed this. It has been a really nice, wholesome, and fun, chilled chat. We will do this again. We will do this again, Matt. We will definitely do this again. I think it's nice to have the positives and everything like that. Something I really wanted to do for the Hefty Fan, but I've never done it like this, and I really like it. Yeah. We'll have to do this again, definitely. Matt said, when it comes to people on site, there's a ton of variables to do with PD and the farmers. it's one of those situations that the chat keeps on scrolling on, and I've missed it all.
It's very hard to theorise about without being Matt P and getting involved in that. Basically, you've got to ask Matt P.
Yes.
What he said.
Yeah. If Steve wants to run a Hefty Fam event, I'd find some youth hostels and just inviting everyone down. I went for a Wintermark one, and that was a really, really nice site. That was. It's a pain in the ass to get to because you have to drive for like, what was it, hun? Like 40 minutes on country roads, wasn't it? The lot when we went camping with Asherhorn. No, sorry, yeah, just a big meetup, wasn't it? Sorry, Helen is sat right there, and I'd forgotten. So yeah, so it was just a nice meetup, but it was a pain in the ass to get to. But it was really good fun. It was just, the site was really nice as well,
yeah.
And there was a good pub, a 15-minute walk away too. It was really, really good. So, but yeah, so I'm gonna call it there. So thank you everyone for coming along. Thank you so much for doing this, Matt. This has been really good fun. Really,
Thank you so much for having me. I've really enjoyed it. It's made my evening.
Good, yeah, mine too. Anytime, mate. Any time at all you want to come on, just let me know, and we'll get something sorted. That's always good. So thank you everyone for coming along into chat. So yeah, do like. No, this isn't YouTube. There's no like and subscribe here. I've been saying that a lot today. So yeah, hit the follow button if you haven't done already. If you've got Prime, you can subscribe to me. Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to me. Yeah. There's links there.
So that Steve has to dress up as Rudolph. Got to make that happen.
Yes, definitely need to make that happen as well. Yeah, and we'll crack on from there. So, yeah, other things too. There's Twitter, Patreon, Facebook, YouTube. I haven't got an Instagram. I don't know if I'm going to do an Instagram.
Oh, you should get Instagram.
Is Instagram? Is it good? Is it?
I don't know. Andy and Sammy use it. It seems to work for them.
Oh right,
I post
okay.
up occasionally.
I will convert my Instagram into a hefty fam Instagram. Oh no, a heftygram.
Heftygram.
A heftygram. Oh dear Lord. So yeah, so thank you everyone for doing this, and yeah, we'll see you all next time.
Yeah.
And so everyone take care and speak to you soon. Bye.